talking about that, let's say there was any other thing for you to do outside of tech, what would it be?
Initially, don't keep. I wanted to be a beautician. I wanted to go to because I wanted to go to college and study cosmetology. But my parents, being typical Nigerian parent, my mom still talks to me about, oh, aren't you gonna go into medicine? And I'm like, Mom, at what age?
I'm a woman. How am I going to do this? I'm a mom. How can I find the balance? What advice would you give them?
Just look at your dynamics and see what works. If whatever decision, if you can pause whatever you can pause temporarily, then pause it, and put things in place. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to rush into that decision and then get drowned, and then fail at it. But don't kill your career because of family. Because you would then eventually resent the family. It would get to one of those days. You would feel like, oh, I left my career. Oh, I did things because of you, because of that. You don't want to do that in the future. So follow your dream. If you can't do it at that particular time, pause, have a break. Whatever you can do it, and then start again.
Hi everyone, my name is Adeshola Cole and welcome to another episode of Slay with Tech. I have a very special guest today, a woman in tech, but also a very, very good friend and sister of mine, Bunmi Smith. Hi.
Hey girl, thank you for having me. I'm really, really excited to be here. So looking forward to, an amazing talk.
We have a lot to talk about because, we are not just women in tech, like I said, we're very good friends. Bearing in mind, I have very few friends.
I know.
So no, yes, very good friend of mine, and we're going to talk about everything. Balancing family. We're going to talk about how you also created a career for yourself as a woman in tech.
Yeah.
And friendships. We're going to talk about that as well.
Very
Especially for, a woman that is successful like yourself. How do you maintain that balance? We're just, going to go with the flow.
We're going to flow.
Yes. So let's talk about the fact that you've been in tech now for how many years?
For about 8-9 years now, I've been in tech.
Yes. So what did you start off doing before you got into the role of a project manager?
Well, I started off as what they call an associate. So I was working for communications regulation company, and basically like regulator, not company. So the way they sort of give their roles, they don't do like project managers or so, they just do associate, senior associate. So I was basically an associate, just, licensing the airspace. So for aeronautical, maritime, for radios, if they want, airtime also. So I was doing that. And I did that for about 5 years. And I thought, you know what? I was really yearning for something more challenging. So I thought, okay, let's transition. And I thought, okay, everyone's talking about tech. And this was around 2014. And I thought, okay, how do I get into tech? So I started doing my research. I went onto LinkedIn and I saw a lot of people, doing tech. And I thought, okay. And then I just took the leap. I went and did the Prince 2 course.
Oh, I was about to ask you, did you did the Prince 2?
Yeah, I did. I did a lot of self-studying.
Yes,
And I did the course, and then I applied for a role. I passed, obviously. And then I applied for a role, got the job, and I sort of worked my way up to being a project manager. Yeah.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And it has been amazing all the way through. Obviously, there's been, bumps on the road, but it's been really good. Yeah.
So prior to you doing all of these roles, did you do any odd jobs at all?
I did, obviously. Tell me. I did odd jobs. I remember my very first job when I was 17. I worked for the Institute of Directors, and I was the kitchen lady, like porter. So I used to go replace their biscuits in the meeting room and replace their teas And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was
Well, they were paying you just to do that.
yes, I would go do that, and I did that on a part-time basis, or sometimes in the morning. So there was a day I saw a notice that they were actually looking for a cleaner in the morning.
You've done cleaning as
I
well.
did cleaning, so I would wake up at 3:30, get on the bus by 4:30, get to Institute of Directors at 5, did the cleaning for 2 hours, because from like 7:30, some of the directors starts to come in. And I enjoyed it, most especially because of all the free biscuits I used to get. They had some really nice biscuits. And being a teenager and, enjoying all the sweeties and stuff,
Yeah.
I loved it. So it was nice.
Do you find that, because obviously I did cleaning for a number of years.
Yeah.
Do you find that that transcends into what your environment is like at the moment? So you're home because you just want things to be cleaned and dusted. And yeah, do you
Oh, definitely. I've always been that. People say I'm borderline OCD. I am. Like, if my remotes are not literally set like that, I would go and do it.
Bunmi has mostly due its time. I literally go, I'm gonna have to expose you. You know that one friend that will say, let's meet at 3 p.m. and at 2:30 she's giving you updates. I just fling that phone sometimes. I'm just what's with the pressure? But your time management is second to none.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I think, having worked with, although I didn't see a lot of the directors, I saw quite a few of them. And the way they worked, the way they spoke, because obviously during the day, sometimes, like on my day off from college, I would go and do the tea work, like replacing biscuits and sweets and teas, and give them lunch in their meeting room. And I was always like, I want to be suited and booted like this one day. So it kind of inspired me as well.
Wow.
But the cleaning, definitely, I got it from there. You had to clean the desk. And there was this particular desk, that guy had the best biscuits. It was just everywhere. I think this director literally traveled the world. So it would bring biscuits from everywhere. I just used to go, maybe I shouldn't say these on camera. Just pick one and eat, pick one and eat. It was so nice. But yeah, it really did set me. It set the pace for me, because I wanted to be in an institute like that. And I really, really saw them, and I thought, yeah, I could be this one day.
Yeah, that's really inspiring. So let's talk about being a woman in tech.
Yeah.
You've been in tech for 8 years. I think for me, it's about 8 to 10 years. There were not as many women as there are now. How does it feel to be a woman in tech?
You know what? It's groundbreaking, should I say.
That's the word.
Initially, when I made the decision to transition,
Yeah.
remember I said earlier on that I went onto LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and one of the things on my list was to check how many women I could find that were actually working in tech at that particular time. And to be honest with you, I didn't see a lot of women.
There weren't.
I didn't. But I said to myself, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I really do want to do this. And I did reach out to a few people who basically sort of spoke to me and guided me, gave me some pointers. But being a woman in tech is amazing.
Yeah.
I really, really love it, because it's a male-dominated environment.
Oh,
and
it
people
is.
still think it is, but it's not longer. It depends on the area that you actually want to venture into. And I think it's really, for me personally, it's fulfilling. And the girls are proud of me. They see me and they go, "Oh, Mommy, I love the way you just do your meetings and stuff," and having to be in the room with a lot of males as well, and you can stand your ground, and just put your point across, and everyone listening to you. Yeah,
It's like we have that authority when we speak.
exactly, because your
voice
craft.
needs to be heard.
You have to use your voice in a persuasive way, should I say, because you don't want to come across as, arrogant. As I said, it's a male-dominated environment, and you still want to put your point across there, and let them know that you earned your space at this table.
Yeah.
So it's fulfilling for me.
It's funny that even when I started TriTech, there were not a lot of women owning ed tech companies.
No. You've done amazingly well, girl. You have done so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that there's a lot more of us. But I think at that point when I started, it was a struggle.
Mhm.
There wasn't a lot of women. And I don't think then we were taken seriously as women in business or women that owned a tech business.
And I think one of the reasons why people had that misconception or people thought like, women shouldn't be taken seriously, I think because when people think, they think tech is techie. It's the codes. You're writing codes, you're doing C++, you're doing Python, doing programming, all of that. And I think that's one of the reasons they go, you're a woman. I don't think you can really sort of survive in this space. And I think as people start to get enlightened about looking at tech as a tree with lots of branches, then they start to warm up to the idea of women being really strong and holding the forefront in tech.
I love that word strong because we are really strong.
We
I
are.
think we're very good at what we do. We're very driven and we're very passionate.
Yeah.
When we put our mind to something, we want to excel and we don't like to be average.
No.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, yeah. So let's talk about balancing your family. How do you find the balance to do that?
Um, I wouldn't say it was easy initially. It was quite difficult. Obviously, when I transitioned into tech, I went into a different environment. The dynamics
Yeah.
of work was basically everything was different from what I did previously. And I've got at that particular point when I transitioned, I only had two. But obviously, my second was about 5 or so, and it was quite difficult. And I didn't make it easy for myself because my first job was Heathrow Airport, and I had to travel all the way from South London, so it's from East London. So it was quite a journey for me. But I was so determined. I think when you have that determination, you just face it. You go, you know what? It's there. I know it's going to be difficult, but this is what I want. And this is what I say about passion. If you're passionate about something, no matter how many challenges comes your way, you would find a way to kind of rise above those challenges. And what I did was just go back to the drawing board and looked at all my timing. God, I had a timetable. I was like, by 5 o'clock, 4:30, I was awake, got myself ready.
Imagine you. What's that else? Wait, you still have a timetable?
I still have a timetable, even on the days that I'm not working, I still wake up at the same time, girl. Even on the weekend, you think to it.
OCD, mate.
I'm borderline OCD, as they say. Well, I always say I'm borderline, but people say, no, you are actually right in it. So I had a timetable and I just had to go back to the drawing board and just rescheduled all my activities. So I was able to fit it in and I had my family around me as well. So that sort of help. Having that support system really helps to transition into tech because these are fast-paced, working in project. They're mostly fast-paced environment. And I don't think there was a single time that I did 9 to 5, 8 to 4. You would always put in that extra hour and just juggling, just getting that support, whatever support that you can get to help you strike that timing balance. So first of all, get the support, being if you want to put your child in after school club or early breakfast club, which is what I did. So although I was doing a lot of, I was waking up at ridiculous o'clock, hours.
Yeah.
But I was determined and I knew it wasn't going to be for like that for a long time.
So did you ever feel guilty about not spending enough time with your kids because you were very career driven?
Initially, I did. And what made me feel like that was I felt like I was depriving them of their sleep because I had to wake them up,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like
Times.
So when I was working for the regulator, and it was about 45 minutes journey from home, so I could wake my girls up from 6:15, 6:30, and so and get them prepped for after school and breakfast club for 7:45 or so. So when I transitioned, I had to wake them up. The older one at 5 o'clock. So she was about an hour, 15 minutes or so deprived of sleep. I felt guilty. But at the same time, I felt I've got to fulfill myself as well.
Because they will reap the reward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought about it. And to make up for that, I make sure that I had time at the weekend
Yeah.
to do that. Even in the evenings as well, I'd pick them up at 6:30 in the evening because it took me about an hour and a half to get to work. And I felt really guilty.
Yeah.
But what I made sure I had was meal prep. I became a master at meal prep. So that, I wouldn't have to get home, and start cooking. So I did all of the batch cooking and just left it in the fridge, the freezer. So as I got them back home, got them from nursery, back home from school club, food in the microwave, everyone had their dinner. I just had to because I felt like I'd had a chance to finally transition into tech and I didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
So I had to. So I felt guilty, but the weekend I made up for a lot of things.
I think one thing that I've started to do, I would say in the past 2 years, where I had no time. TriTech is busy.
Yeah.
But one thing that I do now as a must is every holiday, whether it's local, whether it's international, I make sure that I bond with my kids. Yeah, we go on holiday, no help, no support, just me. I think I did this the first time 2 years ago. That was the first holiday that we had because I just didn't have the time. But I learned so much about my kids that I didn't even know they had certain qualities, and it was a real beautiful bonding time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I've included into my routine. So summer holidays, I could be very last minute. You asked that cannot change. But yeah, just creating that time. Like I said, it could be Ireland, it could be Scotland, anywhere, but just creating that bonding time because we're so busy.
We are extremely busy, and it's very important to make them feel like they are still part of your life because they can easily get, sort of sidetracked if you're not careful.
Yeah.
So, getting them to, and also talking to them as well. So there was a time that I had to speak to the girls and I had to say to them,
You've got 3 girls.
I've got 3 girls. Obviously, my baby didn't understand anything. She slept at nursery and everything. So she wasn't missing out. But the ones in primary school, they couldn't sleep at school time. So, and I had to apologize. I said to them, I had to travel further out now. I've got a better job. We can finally go to Disneyland.
Exactly.
Just carry them along.
Yeah.
And they finally went to Disneyland twice and they loved it. They're like, Mom, I want to be like you when I'm growing. It is really. And we have to carry our children along, especially women in tech. We have to, because a lot of our kids look up to us a lot.
Just to generalize that, because I know we're talking about women in tech, but also as working moms and dads, regardless of what career you're in at the moment, you need to really be there for the kids and really understand what they're doing because we're so busy getting caught up with life, shift work and working end to end to make ends meet. And I think because of that, sometimes we can neglect the children. It's not intentional.
No, not at all.
But
no.
that emotional support is important and just keeping an eye on what they're doing.
Yeah, and it's good you mentioned that. And also just not in tech. So we have other professions as well.
Yeah.
They do a lot of hours as well. And exactly, you hit the nail on the head, hit there, that we just have to carry our children along and make them feel like they have not been abandoned. Let them understand that, this is adult life. We've got to work. We've got to provide for the family. Although I don't have this much time during the day with you or in the evenings, but I will make it up somehow. I would make it up. And, make it up by doing family trips. If you can't do the trips, do like parks. And so take them out.
So you have any for the lunch. I mean, just little things.
Little things.
Yeah.
They love it. They cherish things like that. You're just having that time with them.
Yeah. So let's talk about something that we definitely can relate on. Liking to look good. We love to look good.
Oh, we do.
I'll be like, boom, have you seen this pair of shoes? Boom, have you seen this bag? How important hope they cut that bit out. But anyway, how important is it for you to look good?
It is, I would say it is very important.
Do you believe image is everything?
I believe image is everything because we live in a world right now where people see you and they just judge you straight like that.
Hold on there. Whether you look good and whether you don't look good, you're still gonna get judged.
You're still gonna get judged. You're still gonna get judged. I think obviously it's what comes from within.
Yeah.
But obviously your appearance basically speaks for you first. You walk into a room, like we said earlier on, people think tech is male dominated. People still think that, although a lot of people are starting to shift from that mindset. But you want to walk into a meeting room, you want to own, you want people to know that you have earned that chair. You have to look the part. So I think it's very important to have your image, on check.
Yeah.
It's very important. It means a lot to me. And I think it's just because of the way I've always been. I used to tell my mother then, oh, I want to wear that party dress to bed. Like I was a dress girl. Like you would take the pink. Yes. I used to just say to her, yeah, it's always been, but that aside, I think regardless of what career, as women, our image plays a huge importance to us.
So yeah, if I was to interview somebody, and I'm just being totally honest, I am looking at you from head to toe. And I'm thinking, okay, can you represent the brand? Everything. It doesn't necessarily mean you've got to wear a certain design or anything like that, but your appearance is really important.
It's absolutely. Even interviews, you can't just turn up at interviews, looking scruffy, because you will be judged. So people, like, it's part of interview prep. You've got to look the part. Yeah. So it's very important to be aware of your image.
Yeah, I like that. So friendships. Yeah, we have the giggling disease, which is why who's worse, me or you?
I don't know. I think it's you.
So we're gonna talk about a number of things like respecting boundaries and so for example, that I don't like to call. I'm a voice note girl. How and
And you got me into that.
I
was never a voice note girl, but now I'm loving voice notes. Like I'm sending everyone voice notes now. I'm like, I'm loving this.
When you're like dropping a voice note, you've also got to be careful what you say as well, because you're like, but I just like the fact that we respect how we communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Friendship doesn't necessarily mean calling me every day of every minute or calling me every month. I know that if I don't hear from Boom Boom in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I drop you a random voice note,
which never happens.
There's always something to dust up. There's always some. But I like the fact that there's that freedom of expression. I don't feel indebted because we're very busy.
Yeah.
So I don't feel indebted that, I have to call her, or if I'm going out, I have to invite her, or I have to tell her. So how does that work for you in terms of friendship?
I actually love that kind of friendship. I do not like friendship where you love bombing. Do not love bomb me. I will cut you off. I don't like to say times I feel like, is there something behind it? Yeah. I love our friendship. Like, as you said, if we haven't spoken in 2 weeks, we just catch up. Like we never left, but now we've never gone 2 weeks. I think it's like every other day we're talking and stuff. So don't love bomb me. And I think we just have to respect each other's space as well. And I think that is so important. It's a fundamental thing to have in a friendship. You have to build that foundation of respect and boundaries. Because I think with your boundaries, you have to put in a very healthy boundaries and let your friends know what your boundaries are so they don't cross it. And if they cross them, they know the consequences. Yeah. But if you stop talking to a certain friend, because they've crossed certain boundaries, they should know that, okay, because I've done that. So it's very, very important. I love me, myself, and I as well.
Yes, meanness. I could be in my house for like, I think they call it ambivert, introvert. Yeah, introvert. This I'm happy. I love it. I love it. So, and I do appreciate the friends who check on me. You know, yeah, and I love the group of friends I have. I do appreciate them, but I'm okay. I'm fine. You know, they do wellness check and well-being check or whatever. But it is important to have that space, respect. Don't be in each other's face too much because you just feel like, okay, this is becoming. I don't know. This is just me personally, but some people are like that. They want to be that kind of. They want to know everything. Know everything. And the thing about me is, if you don't tell me, I don't ask, and I expect the same back. If I don't tell you, don't ask me.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. And I also love the fact that with our friendship, you know, I've had my very weak moments and I can confide in you and know that you're not going to call Bunmi A or Bunmi B and say, guess what's happened to her, blah, blah, blah. I think confidentiality is so important in friendship and trust.
Trust is very, very important. And trust is it's like, you know, gold dust. It's very hard to earn. And once you've lost my trust as a friend, it takes a very long time to get it back. Even when that person eventually gets that trust back, it's never going to be the way it used to be.
Not going to do this.
Because you've gone through a reflective period. You've thought about what actually did make you get to that point where you lost that friendship. So you're going to be cautious. You'll be extremely guarded. So I don't want to be walking on eggshells with friends.
Yeah.
So if you've lost that trust, I just leave.
You have a lot of friends.
People say I have a lot of friends.
I mean,
but I don't.
When I go on your status, I'm seeing different people. I'm just like, oh, okay, she's well known.
People say I have a lot of friends. My sister's always like, Bunmi, you have so many friends. But I say, I don't have a lot of friends, but I do have quality friends. I've got friends that I grew up with. Like, there's a particular friend that we went to the same primary school, the same secondary school. We literally lived behind each other's, houses and stuff. And we're still really good friends till today. So I would say that I have friends, but I'm not like a crowd person. I'm not a lot of people, but I roll with certain people.
Yeah. How do you deal with you're quite successful, okay?
Thank you.
How do you maintain that caliber of friendship where we're all on the same wavelength? Or do you sometimes have friends that perhaps they're not doing as well as you? And how do you manage that?
You know what? It's hard.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you want to be 100% with your friends. You want to be yourself.
I'm not shy.
I'm not guilty. Exactly.
You're doing well.
Of who you are.
Yeah.
I don't want to come across, I don't want people to see me like, oh,
she's a snob.
Yeah, she's a snob. Oh, she's too overdressed for this event. No, I'm not overdressed for this event. This is just me.
Yeah.
So, I think another thing is just having the friends that really understand your personality. I think once your friends know, they understand the kind of person you are, how you carry yourself, how you dress, I don't think they'll feel inferior to you because they know that's the kind of person you are. But it's a very good question though, and it's very hard. It's a kind of strike that balance.
Because your network is different.
It's different.
Conversations are different.
I do tailor my conversations with, certain people.
I think that's so important.
I think it's very important. You cannot converse with everyone on the same level. You and I, we will talk tech, we will talk business, we will talk all sorts, But there are certain people that you can't talk tech with. They're not in your line. They don't have a clue. So it's knowing your friends and just tailoring your conversation and let them know you. They know me as, oh, Bunmi would dress up, But I don't think any of my friends would feel sort of certain way. It's just, But I don't know, a friend might invite me to go to a party with her and then you'd meet other people there and they'll be like looking at you like, ooh, who is she? But
Yeah, but it's just you. Just be you, basically. Just be you.
Be very selective with your friends.
Yes.
But I think as you're going higher up the career ladder, some friends will drop off.
I think that's life, really.
Yeah.
It is life. Some friends will definitely drop off. And if you look at, from when we started primary school, secondary school, we went to college, sixth form, uni, we dropped some friends and we carried a few along. And then in our career life, we met new friends.
Yeah.
With different insights. So you tend to want to stay with those friends because your dreams kind of align.
Yeah.
So, and it's not like you're dropping some old friends. It's just because you're so you've grown.
Yeah.
And you're now more sort of glued to, certain people that are on the same sort of career path with you and stuff. So I wouldn't want to say, yeah, I'm ditching some friends because I've grown. It's not like that. It's just because I've met new people. We have the same dream and our dreams align. So you kind of, you're drawn towards them.
Drawn towards them.
Yeah. So so I'll put it like that. So, but again, it's quite difficult, but it's making friends. I don't want to explain to friends all the time why I haven't spoken to you in 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't want that. It's tiring.
Or feel guilty because of the sunny day, or I bought a house. I'm going to talk about your house now. I love the fact that you always celebrate me. It's so refreshing that, you have someone that I win an award, whatever, you just put me out there. And I'm like, wow, this is genuine. But then you also had something amazing happen, which was your house. How did you feel, purchasing that house? How did it make you feel?
You know what? Doing that on my own, initially I couldn't believe it, but I had a dream. And I said it to the girls and I said to them, I said, look, see the area where I live? I've always wanted to live there.
Is it where you took me the other day?
Where I took you the other day. So I used to, and I got my second daughter into it. Because I say there's power in the tongue. I don't know if,
there is.
If people, a lot of people believe that. And we used to go on Rightmove and we look at those houses. And she used to go, Mom, that one's good. It's got an underground cellar. I'm like, we don't even drink. We don't need, oh, Mom, that one's got a swimming pool. I'm like, don't worry, we're going to get there. And I think having that dream, it was a driving force behind my success as well, because my head was just screwed on and I knew I wanted to go there. And I worked really hard. I did work really hard to get that. And I just thank God for that. And you would not believe I still pace around the house, looking around and going, is this me? Did I actually do this? Sometimes I still cannot believe it, especially when I see the sunshine come down my skylight. I'm like, oh my God, this is really me. So to anyone out there, to everyone out there, you can't do it. Just have that dream and you will definitely. So obviously, going into tech has really, really helped me as well.
Do you think it's changed your life?
It has definitely. I do not see myself going into any other career path. But as they say never.
Yeah.
But I love tech. I'm such a tech girl. I love it.
Talking about that, let's say there was any other thing for you to do outside of tech, what would it be?
Initially, I wanted to be a beautician. I wanted to go to because I wanted to go to college and study cosmetology. But my parents being, typical Nigerian parent, my mom still talks to me about, oh, aren't you going to go into medicine? And I'm like, Mom, at what age? So she kind of talked me into, you can do medicine. My mom is an advocate for anyone who does medicine. If Ruby says to her now, oh, I want to go study medicine, she will adopt Ruby. Honestly, she loves everyone who's like into medicine. But I didn't. So I ended up studying. I was like, okay, if I'm not going to do cosmetology, let me just go and study marketing. So, because I just love meeting people. I love talking.
Yeah, you do, Bunmi.
I love talking. Now I thought, okay, I don't know why I didn't go.
Bunmi can talk. And I was like,
I don't know why I didn't go into mass communications or something.
Or be a lawyer or something.
Or be a lawyer. Yeah. So yeah, I would have been, and I didn't even use my degree. I didn't do anything in
What
marketing.
did you study?
Business administration and marketing. Never used it for once.
I don't think a lot of us used our degrees.
No. I remember when I graduated, I think it was like a couple of weeks after I graduated, I got the job at the Office of Communications. And I was just there, doing licensing. And I was so intrigued about how they do all the frequencies. And it was so interesting because it was quite technical. And I think that's where my interest in IT actually came about, because I worked with a lot of engineers as well. Yeah. So it was, yeah. So I would have been a beautician. Yeah.
For myself, I think I probably would, beauty, FBI detective kind.
Yeah, you're really good. You're really good. You would go fish out that information.
Shout that into me.
Yes.
It's just like that. Yeah. I love to, get to the bottom.
Finding.
Finding.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so you.
But I've always been very geeky. I've always been
Really?
Yeah. So I think that's still with me till this day. Just stay at home, read a book. I'm fine.
Oh, I'm different. I've always been, take me to that shop to go buy makeup.
So for every woman in particular that's watching this, on a final note, who perhaps they think that it's not possible because they've got a family, or perhaps, I'm a woman, how am I going to do this? I'm a mom. How can I find the balance? What advice would you give them?
First of all, I think they just need to look at the family dynamics.
Okay.
Does it work? Does it not work? I know a lot of people aspire to go into tech, but not a lot of people, not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
And not just tech only. Just look at your dynamics and see what works. If whatever decision, if you can pause whatever you can pause temporarily, then pause it, and put things in place. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to rush into that decision and then get drowned, and then fail at it. So planning is really, really important.
And I think having a balance is
Having that balance. You've got to have that balance.
Yeah.
Especially with the kids. We want to carry them along with our career, because at the end of the day, we're inspiring them as well.
Yes, we are.
They see mom and dad going to work every day.
Yeah.
They want to do that. They know you've got to work hard for your money.
Stay at home.
Not just stay at home.
Waiting for.
No. Yeah.
Don't do that.
So planning.
Okay.
And if it doesn't work out, plan, put things in place, and then try again. I wouldn't say dive straight into it, because you don't want to die. Baby step.
Yeah. I think it's something important.
Yeah.
Test the waters.
Yeah.
Sacrifice time is important. Have a balance.
Yeah.
And never feel guilty because of your family or your kids, because when you do eventually get your success story, they will reap the rewards.
They'll go on that trip.
Yeah.
They'll go on the
holidays.
trips. Yeah, those holidays, they will. Yeah, I don't think any woman, any man as well, do not, put your career aside or forget. You can put it aside. You can have a pause.
Yeah.
But don't kill your career because of family.
Family.
Because you would then eventually resent the family. It would get to one stage. You would feel like, oh, I left my career. Oh, I did things because of you, because of that. You don't want to do that in the future. So follow your dream. If you can't do it at that particular time, pause, have a break. Whatever you can do it, and then start again. That's the advice.
Boom. You have been amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
It's been interesting, and thank you for having me.
We'll talk shortly via voice notes.
Yeah, definitely. Voice notes. Thank you. Thank you, babe.